That's Debatable, family. My name is Ryan Dietrich, here with my guys, Jeremiah Bays and Will Ward. It is a beautiful Tuesday evening, live from Columbus, Ohio, in the Yamo Media Studios. The trio is back on the right side of the table with our guy, Adam Dell, back behind the desk, producing as always. Things are good here. Like I said, Tuesday, it's a rainy fall day, nice and warm. We got a lot to get to, so we're going to get at it. You can see our socials at the bottom. Follow us there, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those good things, even on TikTok. But to kick it off, we're in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes rolling into Penn Station.
Sounds good, bro.
I mean, right.
It did look like we ate some subs that night. That morning.
The Penn State Nittany Lions welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes into town. Ohio State trailed 21-16 with 9:29 left in the fourth quarter. But a big fourth quarter. They go on a 28-3 run. They ended up winning 40. What was the final? 44-31. They did not cover. I had the Buckeyes at minus 15. So it was looking good until that garbage last Penn State drive. But Buckeyes get it done. They win. Struggled early in the first half. Penn State is good. Number 13 ranked Penn State. So, boys, how we feeling after the Buckeyes got it done? It was a little shaky for 3.5 quarters or 3 quarters. And a lot of upset people around the, listen to sports radio, 97.1 The Fan. A lot of people, Coach Day's a bad coach. They got to play full 4 quarters, this and that. A lot of Buckeye fans upset with a win over number 13 Penn State. Thoughts? What do you think?
Fans suck. Yeah, those are probably the Buckeye fans that, because Michigan did handle them pretty well last week. And then they come in, I think Penn State coming in this week, they was going to try their absolute very, very damnedest. And they blew a head gasket coming into the fourth quarter, and that's what happened. Not that we finally woke up, but there was a team that was fighting, and the Buckeyes did what the Buckeyes do, and we ran away with it. Put points on the board fast. Pick six, or was it a fumble recovery for a touchdown? One of them happened in the fourth quarter. That led to another big play, and then that led to another big play. And then next thing you know, our hearts calm down, and we get the dub. So, we're kind of spoiled, but not really. Or maybe they kind of just wanted just to blow them out. But, I already knew Penn State was coming off a loss, and they had tough weeks to have Michigan and Ohio State back-to-back.
Yep.
But I knew they was going to prepare because that coach always had that team prepared, especially for us. They definitely wake up for us. So, but we did what we had to do. I was unimpressed.
Yep.
Unimpressed,
Willie,
man.
thoughts? You got the stats over
Oh,
there.
you're one of those
Give it to
fans.
me.
You're one of those fans.
You got my man CJ still in the Heisman watch. He throws for 354 yards. Not impressed. You got my man Marvin Harrison Jr. 10 catches for $185. Not impressed. I mean, which part of a good game? I guess you just want to see lights out, knock them out, slobber knocker from beginning to the end. That's what they're saying. 4 quarters, of football.
We played 4 quarters of football.
Yep.
Yeah, but they don't want to see, I guess the Ohio State fans want to see blood, just no mercy. I mean, we're going to get that. Don't panic. Don't, feel like every single week is supposed to be, black eyes and bloody noses. Sometimes we're going to have to struggle. Sometimes we're going to have to fight. But then you got guys like JT, Towie Morlau. That's how we learn how to say it. Because after he had, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, man, you got to respect that guy from here on out. So that defense stood up when they had to. The offense did just enough to get by. And like I said, every time it ain't going to be pretty. But as long as you get a dub, that's all that really matter, right?
Dude, that's right. And
No complaints.
it shows the ability of the Ohio State coaching staff to make adjustments.
Right.
Things aren't going to work early on. And that's how you got to do it. You got to try some things and try some things and try some other things. And when things aren't working, halftime locker room, regroup, get it back together. Third quarter comes in, fourth quarter you're still trailing. No panic, no sweat, it's all good. And playmakers make plays, like you said. JT Tuimoloau, the strip sack of Clifford set up the big Cade Stover touchdown, man. That pass to Cade Stover when he went crashing through like 4 or 5 guys from the 15, 10, 5 touchdown. Big boy play right there. Cade Stover is certainly showing up this year, showing why he belongs on that field. And then immediately after that, JTT, with that crazy athletic play, jumping over the guy trying to block him, picks it, interception, pick six, 14-point swing in like a minute.
Changes everything.
Changes everything. Sucked all the momentum that Penn State had in that stadium in the whiteout. So excellent for the Buckeyes to get it done. Like we said, even Ryan Day said it in that postgame presser. This was JTT's coming out party. He's on the national stage. He's on the map. Top 10 NFL prospect, probably. I mean, you know how defensive ends do. Aiden Hutchinson last year as example. So the big man, might have earned himself a big payday with this performance on Saturday. So big shout out to JTT and that defense. Playmakers make plays. That's what we need to step up and win those games. Ohio State ain't phased. Still number 2.
Still number 2, tied with Tennessee.
But now they've got somebody else joining them at number 2 in the latest AP college football rankings.
Did the playoff ranking come out yet? Did they finish?
It should. I mean, it's 8 o'clock, 8:39. It should see it. The CFP, which is the college football playoff, pumped out by ESPN. That is first released tonight, I think, at 8 o'clock. So that's probably on the maps. We'll check that here as the show goes on. But the AP Top 25, I think we got the graphic up there. But the big thing is that Ohio State and Tennessee are now tied at number 2. There's my guy. You can see him on the left side. And I think they do that because Georgia and Tennessee play this weekend. So one of those is obvious going to lose, which means, Ohio State's still at either 1 or 2. And we'll see kind of how that shakes down between Georgia and Tennessee. You mentioned C.J. Stroud. Hendon Hooker is now the Heisman odds-on favorite at plus 100. C.J. Stroud is now plus 180. They are the 2 clear front runners. The next guy is the Michigan running back, Blake Corum, but his odds are like 14-1. So you got 2 guys at basically 1 and 1.5 to 1, all the way down. So it's a 2-dog race at this point. There's a lot of football left, but barring anything unforeseen, Hendon Hooker and C.J. Stroud. Stroud didn't exactly make his case for the Heisman over the weekend. Still 360 and a touchdown. The dude's doing it and getting it done. The run game struggled, but they got through it and got it taken care of. So there's a little bit of update on the Buckeyes and what's going on around Columbus and on the national stage. Ohio State, one of the premier teams in the country. Still, offensive firepower. That defense is one of the best. They're top 10. So we're just looking to keep cruising. They've got Northwestern coming up this weekend. Ohio State is a 38-point favorite against the Northwestern Wildcats. That's probably a little too many. They've done a good job of covering. Came close last week. Northwestern is not that good, but 38 points is a lot.
For the guys in the chat right now, I got one question that I want to ask. I want somebody to be able to answer, man. Like we already said, the guy CJ had 354 yards, just 1 touchdown. But what is a Heisman Trophy presentation? What do you have to do in order to make sure that you're still solidified and being in a Heisman Trophy race? Because 354 yards, that's Joe Burrow-esque. You know what I mean?
Let's not talk about what Joe did on Monday.
Anyways, we're going to keep on going. But somebody answer that question for me. You know what I mean? Right. What does it take to continue to be a front runner for the Heisman Trophy?
Right. And that's,
Is that solely for the chat?
Right.
I don't want to derail the show.
Yeah, that's good. We'll keep it up there. Hendon Hooker, man. You got to do things like that for Tennessee. You got to beat Alabama. You got to take a team that's out of the top 25, bring them into number 2, number 1.
Yeah.
Make a landmark statement. Stroud just got to keep doing his thing, and he'll be all right. We're going to keep it local. Moving on. Buckeyes doing their thing. Like I said, football. It's Friday. There we go. Thank you,
Brand
AD.
new. All right, there we go.
And I was looking at ESPN's college football power index, and Ohio State's the number 1 ranked
Tennessee,
team in the power
number
index. 1. So there it is, college football playoff.
Smell that? Smell like brand new shoes right there. Fresh off the presses.
Just released, yeah.
Brand new car
maybe
set.
half hour ago.
That one comes to breaking news.
Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson. All right. K-State, 13. There you go.
Or North Carolina.
No Wildcats.
They still have 17. Man, they should be way higher than that, bro.
Okay.
So do they put Tennessee at number 1 just because they know they got to face Georgia coming up? So if Georgia loses, that knocks Georgia way back, shouldn't it?
Well, it won't.
It won't. It'll knock them in front of Bama.
The same thing happened
right behind
last
Michigan.
year or the year before. I think it was Alabama, Georgia, and it was basically move them up to 1 and 2 because when one of them loses, you move one down to 3.
And then you still got the SEC championship game. I mean, so I think they're playing on that a little bit also. But like we already said, somebody's going to get knocked out. It's going to be a one-loss team out of the SEC no matter what.
That's right. All right. Update on the CFP right there for you. We're going to move on to a little bit of high school football. The OHSAA high school football playoffs are in full swing. First round started last Friday night.
Yes, it did.
The Yamo media crew and a few of us rolled over to New Lexington. The broadcast of Bishop Hartley versus New Lexington is up on the Bishop Hartley YouTube page. Excellent broadcast, great weather. It got a little cool. We had a good old time, though. Great game. Bishop Hartley ran the ball, dominated. And we had there's a big, a little scrap towards the end of a game, some fighting breaking out.
Yeah, it was.
One of the New Lexington players pulled an AB, took his helmet off and just walked off the field, man.
Straight to the locker room.
Talking trash to somebody and he dipped. It was, and he's a senior, so something we hadn't really seen before, and I'm not sure. Hopefully the kid's doing all right, but senior year walks off the field in the middle, towards the end of his high school
playoff. A couple of his
Hey,
own teammates.
AB style?
Too, wasn't it? AB style. Took
Dude,
his helmet off.
Totally, it was nuts.
In high school?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Hey, like we already said, go to the Bishop Hartley YouTube page.
Yep.
Kind of fast forward it to the fourth quarter. Yep. It's in there, man. Just check it out.
Right about the end, couple minutes left. But anyway, Bishop Hartley got it done over New Lexington.
48-13.
Yep. Bishop Hartley goes Friday. They head to Eastern Ohio, right at the West Virginia border, to take on the bad boys of Steubenville. I've been hearing some horror stories about these hillbillies from Steubenville, rednecks over there, down in the holler, but they can bring it. I think they're 8-1, and they've got some history with Bishop Hartley and some state championships and things like that. So it's going to be a heck of a game Friday night, Bishop Hartley and Steubenville. That'll be the second round of the boys Division 4, and this is Region 15. We've got a few of the other ones. Jer has got all the scores of the City League. I think there's only one City League team left.
Yes, there's only one City League team still standing, but I will get to them last. Shout out to the 6 teams, or the other 5 teams of the city, the North and South, that represented the city this past Friday. So shout out to Marion Franklin. They did not come out on top, though. It was Bishop Reddy had 50, Marion Franklin had 12. But shout out to those young men. Northland lost to Watkins Memorial 24-6. Shout out to the Vikings. Beechcroft lost to Bloom Carroll 48-0. Shout out to the Cougars. I-High lost to Canal Winchester 23-6. Shout out to the 76ers. And South had a great season this year. They really came down. They really, like I said, they really had a great season this year, and they really fought to the very end. This score, they lost as well, but I'm pretty sure they laid it all on the line. 61-54, so that's a tough loss. Touchdown game, but a high-scoring game. But they did not come out on top, so unfortunate for the Bulldogs. But the only team to prevail, shout out to the East Tigers. They won. East, they've been the powerhouse this whole season. They was ranked in the top 10, and they've been holding it down. So hopefully they're the one City League team left. So I'm rooting for East the rest of the way. Let's go Tigers. They won over Vinton County, 34-14. So like I said, shout out to East. Hold it down for the city and try to bring back home that title.
I like it. Let's see. Excuse me. Good matchups coming up this Friday. Division 1, you've got Pickerington North and Pickerington Central going at each other. That's going to be a big one. 4th and 5th seed. You've got number 2 seeded Upper Arlington taking on number 16 seeded Westerville Central, getting a sneaky win over Hilliard Darby.
Who East play?
East. I don't know. Let's see. You got number 1 seeded Gahanna Lincoln. Hey, my man. And there it is, OHSAA. And that's a great tool as well. Just jump onto the OHSAA website. All those state brackets, they've got all those printed out. There's a lot of good coverage.
This is actually through Match Preps, just so you know, we don't get in trouble. OHSAA partners with Match Preps to do the brackets. And you can go see all of them if you go to ohsaa.org. This is Division I, Region 3, like Ryan was talking about. But there is every bracket, every game. And after this week, it goes to neutral sites. So you'll definitely be wanting to check those out so you don't end up at the wrong stadium. Because that would not be fun.
Good work, AD.
Where's the highlighted game? I mean, we already said Pick Central against Pick North. I know Gahanna Lincoln and Bradley should be a slobber knocker.
Dude, my other one was that's Division II. We mentioned we went out and watched Sunbury Big Walnut.
Oh yeah,
and that Nate Seaver balling it up. So let's see, number 5, Big Walnut, going to number 4, Pataskala Watkins Memorial. So that's kind of the one I'm looking for there.
Region 7, right?
Yep, Region 7, Division 2, Region 7. So that's that game there. Big Walnut, they were a lot of fun to watch earlier in the season. So, and man, the competition, the level of play, the athletes around here, and just the number of games, man. It's
a lot.
Dude, tons and tons. 448 teams made the high school playoffs this year. So we'd be down to, what, half of that now.
Yep.
But anyway, it's fall, it's football season, it's November, man. This is what it's time to do, and it's just a good event. Take the kids, family, whatever. You got nothing to do. It's cheap entertainment. So go check it out.
Good luck to all those young men that's going on to the battlefield on Friday night. Have fun. Take it serious because you only get one shot at this. It's win or go home.
That's right.
Right. And East plays Cambridge. Cambridge travels to East this Friday. So shout out to East. Like I said, represent the city. Do your thing. And if I'm off early enough, I will definitely try to make that game.
That's Debaytable. Should pull up to some of these games, man.
All right.
It's getting exciting now.
You're tailgating, dude.
Right.
Have to take it live. All right. From high school Friday night football to the big boys on Sunday.
Or Thursday night.
Or Thursday night.
Or Monday.
Nope. That doesn't count.
Now we're going to leave Monday alone.
Nope.
Continue.
All right, little NFL Week 8.
There was a game on Monday?
Just finished. For you there. No, there wasn't, Will. I don't think you missed anything last night, my guy.
I didn't watch it.
Think so.
Speaking of a little Week 8 review, Will's going to forget about the Cincinnati Bengals performance last Monday
night. We're going to hit on it for sure.
We are going to hit on it. Talk about maybe the best running back in the league, and Nick Chubb looking fine last night.
I think he earned that title.
Last week, Week 8. Thursday.
King Henry's back.
Dude. And if you got him on your fantasy team, you're in a good mood, kind of like me. Man, sidebar, fantasy football, 10-man league. I would have beat everybody in the league by 10 to 20, except for the one dude I played. He beat me by 20.
Wow.
Man, tough times in Week 8. It opened up Thursday. Speaking of tough times in Week 8,
with a breeze.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, I did stomp you. Sorry, bro.
Your running backs, your running backs took off. That's where all the points was.
All right, well, Week 8, that's what, let's talk about running backs from Week 8. And I got it right there. Who impressed you? You mentioned Derrick Henry. I'm very happy to see Derrick Henry back and popping off. Who impressed me was Travis Etienne. He is getting things done. What didn't impress me is Jacksonville losing to Detroit, losing to Denver in London. Russell Wilson looked good for a drive. I mean, I guess that's all it is. If you can stay within the game till, if you can keep it within reach to that final drive. So Denver rolls over to London
used to do.
and took care of Jacksonville. Hey, that's how you get it done. So, Week 8, who impressed you?
I think I was impressed more by Seattle. Seattle came out and they played good. And there was one play where Kenny Walker, scored, but more impressive on this particular play was DK Metcalf was out towards the sideline. He had one-on-one coverage with the cornerback, and DK ran a fade route where it looked like he was running a fade route, but he was supposed to be blocking.
Decoy.
Pretty much he just ran his man off. He sold the whole entire fake to where the cornerback just continued to follow him, and Kenneth Walker is running right behind him. So he never even seen Kenny coming towards him because he's too busy trying to tackle DK.
I saw that. But, he even put his hands on DK to try and block that ball.
But those guys are rolling right now, and they're very surprising, and didn't see those boys coming. I guess, you want to write them off. They're not going to write back at this point. It's starting to seem like, I don't know if somebody has dial-up, AOL, something. They're not responding right now. So I'm kind of starting to take Seattle serious, but they looked impressive. They surprising me right now.
Dude, Geno Smith leads the NFL with 5 games in a QBR over 100. He had 4 in his previous 35 starts. So Geno Smith, I don't know what it is. Maybe you just need time on the bench to step things up. The New Orleans Saints defense, I guess, impressed me. Or on the flip side of that, Las Vegas looked terrible. I was glad to see my 49ers get it together. I'm going to get to Christian McCaffrey later.
I bet you will.
But, man, they've been, if you've paid any attention to any sports TV the last couple days, they've made their mark. You know, they're getting talked about. Is San Francisco the contender in the NFC?
Yeah.
You know, are
a
they?
little bit too much.
How can they compete? Right. They had a 4-4 team being talked about with the likes of the 7-0 Eagles, 6-1 Vikings, all those things. That's how the NFL works.
They're being talked about more than my 6-1.
I was very impressed with San Francisco getting it together. They've got a lot of injuries on that defensive side of the ball, but they got it back together.
I think who impressed me the most would definitely be. I just had it. Oh, yeah. Dak and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The way I did not see that one coming at all.
Dude,
49 piece from Dallas? Really? Yeah, nah. Shout out CeeDee Lamb. He ain't CeeDee down this week.
Yeah, he did okay. He got back a little bit.
He helped me a little.
Yeah, 49 points, most scored by any team this season. I wouldn't have expected that from the Cowboys offense. You look, dude.
131.
Tony Pollard, no Zeke. Tony Pollard looks good. Ran all over him. What else I would like to say? Pretty impressed with the Atlanta Falcons, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're in every game. They beat the Carolina Panthers. Carolina's not, they're nothing to slouch at.
Yeah, I want to hold you off on that. Carolina beat themselves. You see the celebration?
He still made the field goal. They still got the dub, all those things. So
I'm talking about the
grip to
Carolina
hold-
player
I know.
who got to the touchdown and rips his helmet off.
Dude.
Like, I mean, act
Takes
like
him
you've
out of
been here
contention.
before. You cost your team the game. It was a great comeback.
Beautiful pass.
PJ White,
Dude, PJ
Walker.
Dude, that 60-yard rope can't roll into his left.
Stepped
Like,
out
what
the pocket.
more do you want?
I just
from
look
us,
up
guy?
and see a dime. It was beautiful.
Dude, that was
And
awesome.
then DJ Moore, but he is on my fantasy team.
Okay.
It didn't help me, though.
Inside
yeah.
the box, AD.
But
There you go.
it kept me in contention a little bit.
All right, my other one. I said it like 2 or 3 weeks ago on this show that the Steelers would give the Philadelphia Eagles their first loss. I was dead ass wrong. And that's okay. Sometimes you get it wrong, but I was sticking with it, so it is what it is. Of course, the Eagles are going to trash the Steelers.
You think?
35-14, beat them by 21. Didn't even sweat it. Who knows if Hurts even played the fourth quarter.
Did not. They put in my boy
There you go.
Gardner Minshew.
Man, I just blacked out once and was like, Steelers are going to beat the Eagles. I had that vision. It was dead wrong.
You must have been riding the caboose with Jared. He was the conductor of that Kenny Pickett train.
Kenny Pickett, but that team is still gonna be nice.
But
I do notice that he turned the ball over a lot, but he young. You can't throw him in a fight in the
Here
middle
we
of the
go.
season.
Here we go.
But
Here's
he's a player, man.
Here we go.
My other one that I'm impressed with, I mentioned this to you guys off air. The Detroit Lions have lost 4 games by less than 4 points. They're 1-6. Well,
Beautiful
for that
tank
bad,
job.
it's just like last year. They
It's a
lost a
beautiful
lot of
tank
close
job.
games. They got a lot of talent. They've been dealing with injuries. They were up 14 on the Dolphins at one point. Miami's done this before against the Baltimore Ravens. So Miami might be one to watch out for. We're going to get a little bit to the trade deadline and some moves they made. Miami improving. And, 2-touchdown comeback victory over anybody is still pretty good. So Miami, somebody to watch out for. They can score 31 points without breaking a sweat. 2 of 382. Tyreek Hill, another 180-yard receiving game. Tyreek on pace maybe to get to that 2,000. So impressed by the Miami Dolphins, and even on the losing side, Detroit's grit to just kind of hang around, and they keep covering. If you're out there looking for points,
They just throwing the
and
towel.
hangers, taking the Lions and getting some points isn't a bad idea. Anybody else on your list? You impressed with Philly? 6-0. We don't care because the Steelers are bad. 7-0. Excuse me.
Nah, that's not impressive. I mean, I'm impressed with them 6-1 Vikings.
All right, from our producer, Adam Dell. Get in
what I
on
was
the
impressed
action. Who you got, my guy? Adam, who
I
were
am
you impressed
impressed.
with?
Kill me for this. I'm impressed with the Vikings, man.
Oh,
I'm only as I haven't been around for the last month.
Yep.
Jared, I'm
Yeah.
going to give you the credit. You called it. Vikings look like the real deal. Listen, Kirk Cousins is still the same Kirk Cousins I believe he is. I think you are overrating Kirk Cousins just a little bit. It's not about the numbers. He's got good numbers. Nobody's going to debate that. But can he win the big games? Can he win the big? And that's what it's going to come down to. Beating Green Bay in Week 1 this year is not the big game. I know. So unless they royally screw up the Vikings out the division, that's pretty much done. I get that. I've made peace with the Packers just suck this year. It is what it is. 1 out of 20 isn't bad. But I've been very impressed with the Vikings. I think the bye week came at the right time for them. They did nothing and gained a lead. It's going to be the worst division in football, probably, unfortunately. Yep. Detroit's, 1-7. Green Bay and Chicago are both 3-5, I think. Yeah. You're, 6-1?
Yep.
Chicago.
The Vikings should win the division. And I just like when any team but Michigan's playing in a bowl game, I root for the Big Ten. I will root for the NFC North. So, the rest of the season, obviously when if Green Bay turns it around, which could happen because it's Green Bay. But if they do, I will root for them. But if the Vikings are the sole representative in the NFC North, I will go with them because I am impressed. I think that team is very good. And picking up that tight end today, Detroit it made them even more dangerous. I can't remember his name, but
T.J. Hawkinson.
That's a dangerous team. If they're going to do it, this is the year for them.
That's all they need to pick up, man, was T.J. Now they're straight to the Super Bowl, right, Jared?
Hey, that's debatable, man.
Who in the NFC other than Philly can you say can beat them for sure?
Cowboys.
San Francisco.
Why
San Francisco.
I'll give you that. I'm worried about them. But why the Cowboys? What Dakota Prescott fell on his face and ran out of time the last time we saw him play in a playoff game.
That was last year, man.
Kirk Cousins ain't never done that though. Never.
When was the last time Cousins screaming off?
We lost to the team that went to the Super Bowl, which was your guys. But we also, before that game, he marched into New Orleans.
Well, hang on. He's going to let's talk about Dallas. Yeah, talk about Dallas? Why they can beat Minnesota.
Marcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons going to be screaming, coming at Kurt, giving them just.
And we got Zadarius Smith and Daniil Hunter, Micah's Micah, but Z Smith is tied for first in sacks right now. That's who y'all miss him more than Devontae too.
So I just think that defense is going to give enough pressure on Kurt on a big-time game in the playoff when it really counts. That's the thing that everybody is waiting for to see from the Vikings.
So what about
Can they pick up? I think they got enough to where you just seen him hand the ball off to Pollard. He's a game manager.
And you ain't
the same thing is to be said about Kurt. He can hand the ball off to Delvin Cook. We know this. But we want to see, can your boy – hey, check around, man. It ain't just me who feel this way. John Madden rolling over in his grave, wishing he can just say, hey,
his first championship was against my Vikings, I know.
We going to see, man. We going to see. That's on that I say. Get your popcorn ready. You got the Commanders this week.
They ain't made them. I was 2 when the last time they made the championship game.
We going to see in 3 weeks, Brady. 3 weeks. We ain't going to have to say nothing else. We're going to just sit back and watch and see who comes out on top.
But you know what? We're going to win our division, and they're not. So they're still, even if they have to play us again, they're going to have to come to us. That week they come to us too.
Home field advantage ain't as big of an edge in the NFL nowadays as you think.
The Minnesota new stadium that's a huge advantage.
And going down to Arlington, I don't know, man. I think home field advantage still has.
They got more bandwagon fans than real fans.
Only place home field advantage doesn't really lie is in Lambeau, I believe. I mean, they make it there all the time, and
it's just because they quarterback choke. But we're not talking about them right now. I just think the Cowboys, if that's the competition, I'm not worried.
Okay.
But the Niners, I'd prefer a path where the Niners and the Eagles have to play each other. Just like your Bengals had the Buffalo Bills and the KC Chiefs play each other. That's what and we get like a Titans and Raiders type of matchup. Just to, at the end, we can handle whoever we come out of that bloodbath. That's what I prefer. But the Cowboys, man, no.
We gonna see. You got 2 weeks.
All right, here, I'll tell you this. Watch out.
Don't be afraid. You're gonna learn to respect them real fast.
No, you're gonna have to. Don't you owe my guys an apology?
You're not afraid of Seattle?
We ain't there yet.
Let's get to that.
You ain't afraid of the Seahawks?
He ain't afraid of nothing.
Hey. They're division leaders, so they gotta.
That's how you should be.
But we wouldn't play the Seahawks would have to win their first game first.
Look, man. Even the 3 little pigs weren't scared of the big bad wolf.
We are the houses made of stone.
Yeah. That's what you think until Kurt. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, dog.
I'm pretty sure First Bank Arena's stadium's made out of glass, brother. You got a lot of windows in that thing.
I'm weak. That's hilarious. But you got it. That's just to mess up the other team's kicker.
All right, well, there you go.
Hold on real quick before you move on.
Yeah.
I've got, and let me see if I can pull this up here. This is a new thing. I pulled up Kirk Cousins' playoff stats.
Yeah. Come on, Dale.
Let's see this. All right,
yeah.
What'd he say?
Kirk Cousins' playoff stats. It ain't a long list, so this should be short.
Yeah, no, it's not a long list.
The last time we saw him,
2 games.
You like that, don't you? Was that playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
That was playoffs.
but he was. I don't care what he
That
did
was
with a
DC.
team that got that 2 names ago. That was 2 names ago for a team to use to pay for.
That's
The last
still
time I
his
see
career.
It
I know,
is.
but that's fine. The last time I seen him,
He's
in
not that
Minnesota-
same player anymore.
He's heavens no. The last time I saw him in the playoffs for the Minnesota Vikings, he did his thing against New Orleans, and he ran up against a buzzsaw that smoked us, smoked the Packers, and then if Jimmy G connects on his pass, they could win a championship. That's who we lost to. But we beat them. Everybody had us losing to the Saints. We beat the Saints before
Boy, check
Tom
out
Brady
the
did.
stats, man. Stats don't lie. All that stuff is just
So NFC
hearsay.
wildcard, Washington versus Seattle. 3 for 10, 30%, 31 yards. NFC wildcard, Washington versus Green Bay.
What year was that? 2013? That's the Legion of Boom. They went to the Super Bowl.
Hey, these are still.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But the team he did that against was literally known for their defense.
This is
No,
Kirk
that's
Cousins.
great. Who do you think he's going to play this year? Teams that are good for defense.
No.
got one.
Washington, Green Bay.
That's
Green
Green
Bay's
Bay.
definitely not known for their defense.
What year was that?
Look who
2016.
That was
beat. Look who he
2016.
beat.
29 for 46.
He lost to Aaron
29,
Rodgers.
and a touchdown.
And he beat
Lost.
Drew Brees.
They went to New Orleans, which, by the grace of God, they won that game.
What? That wasn't the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. That was
Yes,
Case Keenum. Come on, I'm a Vikings fan. I know this stuff. It was he threw a touchdown pass to Kyle Rudolph in overtime. Case Keenum, 2017, when we lost to the Eagles in the championship game.
All right, well, anyway.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. My bad.
But he's 1-3.
He's
Yeah,
1 and 3.
He's 1 and 2 as a Viking.
6
Okay,
and-
and we're going to get back there, and that's
He's
why
1 and
Mike
2 as a
Zimmer and the
Viking.
old regime is fired because we
Order,
haven't gotten
order.
back to that.
Order in the court.
Four playoff games, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a completion percentage of 62.1.
Okay, what?
Now, I'm not one to talk shit about my quarterback right now. Trust me, mine's probably doing
He
enough
lost
on
to
its
2
own.
teams that went to the Super Bowl, and I'm pretty sure your Green Bay Packers went to the NFC Championship game that year.
Well, it's okay. They all made the playoff. He lost to all playoff teams. How about that?
No, I'm not, because he
He
lost to
beat- he
3
did
teams
beat
that
San
went to the
Francisco.
Super
No, he beat
San
New Orleans.
Francisco and Seattle went to the Super Bowl that year, correct?
All right. So,
No, San Francisco and Seattle did not both go to the Super Bowl that year.
Those were 2 different seasons.
he meant-
2013,
he meant
Seattle
no
lost
separate seasons.
to New England.
Okay, all right, all
And
right,
then,
all right.
and
Order,
then,
order,
and in
order.
20 in the other year, they lost to KC.
Try, right?
No,
I
2020
know.
was
Hey,
when Brady went.
what do you got next?
We didn't lose that year. We didn't make the playoffs that year. 2019 is when we went and lost to the Niners, who lost to Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, well, I'm still just going over the simple fact of Kirk Cousins in the playoffs does not have a stellar record, and that's
Yeah.
what until he proves me otherwise.
He got to get back there.
I
I'll
agree
give you
with
that.
but until
But
he proves me otherwise,
okay,
that's going to be a concern.
that's your argument is that he didn't play them. My argument is he lost to the teams that actually went to the big one.
Who gives a shit?
I
He
do.
still lost.
Right.
Yeah, so what?
I've used that excuse for the Jackets every year because they do literally lose to the team that go to the Stanley Cup. You know what? They still lost in the first round.
All right, dummies, enough.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Minnesota,
You're right. He's won just
they
as
ain't
much as
afraid of
anyone.
nobody. Kirk Cousins is 1-3 in the playoffs. When the Vikings get there, they're going to let the defense and Dalvin Cook do a lot. The one key point you miss about T.J. Hawkinson is that he's one of the best run-blocking tight ends in the NFL.
He's a
And
Kittle-esque.
what they need is to get Dalvin Cook and that run game going because that takes a lot of pressure off Kirk Cousins in the playoffs, especially if you got to go on the road, outdoors, in the cold, or wherever. So T.J. Hawkinson's a massive add, especially because he's a good run-blocking tight end. So, moving on. I was going to say how bad is Los Angeles? Los Angeles. Well, the Los Angeles Rams are pretty bad. How bad is Las Vegas? I cannot believe they got shut out.
By the
Going into
Saints.
New Orleans, coming off a bye week, a lot of people were like this and that, but Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, nothing is working in Vegas. We don't care. Ship them out of here. They ain't turning it around. Hang it up. Raiders with the first pick. All right. 9 o'clock, we're going to take a
CJ
quick
Stroud to the
commercial
Raiders.
break.
Nice.
Ooh, C.J. Stroud to Las Vegas. Interesting. We're going to step aside. You mull that over while we step aside to a quick commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to That's Debatable. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Coach Howard, and I'm excited to tell you the good news about what's coming your way for this high school basketball season. Every Sunday at 6 p.m., you can catch the Coach Howard Basketball Show live on Yamo Media. We will take a close look at all the previous week's high school action, the big upcoming games, And not only that, but we'll be taking a look at the top teams and players throughout Central Ohio. I'll have special guests throughout the season, including high school coaches, players, and college coaches from all over the country. I'll also be giving out rankings of the teams and the players every 2 weeks. It's going to be a very in-depth show, and I can't wait to get started. Once again, you'll be able to watch the show live on the Yamo Media Columbus YouTube channel and Yamo Media's Facebook page. You'll also see clips posted throughout the week on all of the Yamo Media social platforms. You can also catch the audio podcast on Mondays wherever you find your podcasts. Our first episode will air Sunday, November the 20th. I'm looking forward to this upcoming high school basketball season here in Columbus, Ohio.
Welcome back, gang. You're still tuned into That's Debatable. Rod, Jared, Will, AD behind the desk. We're doing it here from Columbus, Ohio. You've got to be like the biggest, just Kirk Cousins. You are his. You just wave
his
that
narrative
flag,
is
man.
his narrative.
It is. It's all good.
Yeah, waving the flag.
It's
but
all
his
good.
narrative
It's all good.
is bigger
That's
than
my
what it actually
quarterback.
is.
That, dude,
my
right?
teammate.
And that's what you got to do as a fan. You stand by.
He just got to get back there.
What's that movie? You stand by your man. Jared stands by his man, and that's what we like.
Went to an
Dude.
NFC Championship with
Back
Case
it
Keenum,
up.
man.
Man, it'd be great if Minnesota won the Super Bowl this year. So
Yeah, it'd be better. It'd be even better if I
No,
had
it
that
wouldn't be.
million
Stop
tonight.
for like
It,
two.
it would. They would not like me. They would not like me because even if somehow magically my Bulls won a championship,
You'd
it
just
wouldn't
be
be the
getting
same
muted.
thing. If the Buckeyes won, I'm in Buckeye land. It doesn't count. But me being a Viking, and if we won a Super Bowl, I'm gonna have my J.R. Smith moment.
Hey,
I would,
well,
that
well,
next
well-
show, I'm coming with my shirt off.
What my man Ye say? Everybody wanted to know what it was going to be like if I didn't win. I guess we don't got to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Right now, it's a lot going on with your stuff that man Ye is saying. So we ain't talking about
That was the old Ye.
We're gonna
not
keep
the new Ye.
We're gonna keep Kanye and Kyrie out this show.
We'll
Again,
see.
Hey, I'm
you
still
can see our
pro-Kai.
social media handles again at the bottom: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those good things. Follow us there. We're just doing some Week 8 talk. It's a big week in the NFL. Week 9's coming up. We're about to that mid-season. Next week we'll do our mid-season awards. Just a couple: mid-season MVP, Coach of the Year, Play of the Year, all those kinds of things. But in the meantime, Baller of the Week. It's that time. We're talking about it since we just went over a little bit of what happened in Week 8. Here's our chance to wave our flags for our guys, to stand by our man, as it were. So I'm going to kick it off.
Oh, man.
Well, you want to go first?
Nah, you got it, G.
All right. If AD's got it ready down there, Baller of the Week. I mentioned it earlier. My guy doing superhero stuff in San Francisco in the Bay Area, Christian McCaffrey, the newest member of the San Francisco 49ers, rocking that 23. 22 is my lucky number, too. If he kept that 22 jersey, I was going to buy one.
23 is my
But he's
favorite
out there looking like MJ, doing MJ stuff. And shit, we don't even need Jimmy. Just let him play quarterback. A
nice ball.
Nice ball to BA. Rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown. First player to do that since LaDainian Tomlinson in 06.
And the only other players
90 yards rushing, 80 yards receiving. He had 35 fantasy points or something like that.
94 yards rushing, 55 receiving, a 34-yard touchdown pass.
8 catches.
Yeah.
I mean, can you fill it up anymore?
I couldn't even put all his stats on the sheet.
Couldn't even get it
That's
all
how
on there. That's
he
how
filled
good
up
Christian
the-
McCaffrey
Man.
was. CMC, Baller of the Week. My
CMC,
guy,
baby.
I'm loving it. I'm loving him in San Francisco. Good things are coming. One of you two, take it away.
All right, so I don't know if we had any repeat ballers yet. I don't know if anybody selected anybody else's guy yet. I will have to go back and check the footage. I don't know for sure. But this is my first time. I picked these guys in week 2, week 3. When did the Ravens lose to the Dolphins? Was that week 2 or week 3?
I'll pull it up real quick.
Week 2.
Week 2. So they were my ballers of the week for the NFL week 2, and 6 weeks later, they're my ballers of the week for week 8. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Finished product will be done later. But 8 catches, 106 yards, 13.2 average. 29 was his long, 2 touchdowns for the man, Waddle. 12 receptions, 188 yards, 15.7 average, 42 was his long for the Cheetah. He did not get in the end zone, but he clearly got him down the field, and Waddle finished it off. So it was a lot of running fast and a lot of.
Dude, that Waddle's the best dance.
That Waddle, yeah, I definitely liked it when my Vikings picked them off and they all waddled in the end zone. My fault.
That was fun. No, you're good.
But that was one of the best celebrations, I'm telling you, when they all did the Waddle. That was beautiful.
It's just, dude, it's simple, bang, bang, easy. Love it. All right. Yeah, so yeah, I think we've had Josh Allen repeat his BOW, and I don't know about Lamar. But I'm pretty sure Josh Allen has. I got a list going.
Lamar's repeated too. He picked Lamar, and I picked Lamar. So we had a couple repeats, but this is the first duo to repeat. And man, I'm the one who picked them both. Because it's just hard to pick either one when they do what they do as a duo.
Those fins are flying down there. A lot of fun to watch. All right. Willie Fresh.
Well, I mean,
who was your baller of the week, Will?
It goes back to one of those old-time Disney songs. I don't know if you guys remember it. You got a friend in me.
Yeah.
You got a friend in me. Anybody that beats the Squillers.
Paul Newman.
You got a friend in me, man.
That's what
that's what my man AJ Brown did this past week. He got off on the Squillers. Just look at it, man. Just look. Terrell Edmonds, Mika Fitzpatrick. It was nothing that they could do to stop this man. He was looking like Megatron, a little bit of Randy Moss. Shout out to the mans that was just mossing everybody. But that's what he looked like he was doing. It was nothing that secondary of the Squillers could do to stop him. And it was just a phenomenal feat. You know, he came out. He had, let me see here, pull up my handy dandy notebook, just 6 catches, nothing big, just 6 catches, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. Man. Not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. And one of them, he pointed to both of them. Like I said, Terrell Edmonds and Mika Fitzpatrick. He took the flag because he just took, my baller of the week. So, hey, like I said, you got a friend in me, man. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm hoping my nice singing, American Idol-esque, doesn't get us flagged.
Yeah, I just don't want to get sued by Disney.
I'm weak, but he also got a friend of the man who was throwing in the ball, because Jalen Hurts needed that man this season. And he's changed the Eagles' fortunes, and it's looking like they're not the runaway favorites, people, but he definitely got a friend in Jalen too.
They are, dude. AJ Brown is a stud. He is big, fast, strong. He is a beast.
Hey, Squiller fans, hang in there. It's gonna be all right, man.
And I bet he is on.
Their future's bright.
I bet he is on.
They got Kenny freaking Pickett.
You know who won the offseason?
How you do it?
AJ Brown getting traded to Philly. He won the offseason just by leaving Tennessee.
Hey, but they're rolling out though. They're finally rolling. 5-2, I think.
Dude, 7-0 Philly. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah. He's actually getting. He's not even in a prominently running scheme. He's still getting the ball versus how it was with Tannehill.
All right, that's our 3. We're gonna have Big Adam. AD, who you got?
He breaking
Who's
out
your
the
baller of
flag,
the week?
man.
I'm breaking out the flag. But it's not what you think. So, yes, this is a Green Bay for Jared. Would you mind holding that right there first?
Oh, God, I don't know. This is bad juju.
You can hear burning his fingers.
This is like.
Is this Grambling
College?
College?
Set it on fire?
No, we're in distress right now.
I hope so. I got the lighter for you.
Hanging it backwards, I get it.
Yeah, we're upside down here.
Yep. It's like the American flag.
Jesus
when you're
Christ.
distressed, you fly upside down out of the base.
Oh, man. He just had me. You got some sanitizer?
Man.
I need some hand sanitizer ASAP.
It's all good because you hung it upside down.
I was just sick.
Here it is.
I was just throwing up all night. I was throwing up yesterday. He's trying to make me gag again. Bro, I thrown up enough.
I am hanging up an upside down Packers flag. Shut up, you should be happy. Anyway, I can't do NFL, so my baller of the week is coming from Columbus, Ohio. JT Tuimalau. That man had himself a game. It was watching a player become a man, become a dominant force in Ohio State. It was one of the best defensive performances in the history of the program. Period. Just the way he took over that game, Ohio State has not had any adversity whatsoever this year. They've rolled through everybody. So the way he just took over that game as a sophomore, just have a day, young man. Have a day.
Yep.
Excellent work.
Coming out, party.
Tuimolo.
All right, here it is. JTT, 2 recovered fumbles. He had an interception.
I had 2.
He had 1 interception. That was a pitch six. He had another ball that he tipped that became another interception.
Yep.
I think it was 6 tackles, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery.
That's what, 6 tackles.
It was like
3
every
solo.
stat that he could hit, he got.
3 tackles for
Big
a loss,
bullet.
pass deflection, tip, touchdown. Yeah, all-time historic day. One for the books.
Game changer.
Honorable mention. I just had it pulled up. Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara will win you a fantasy league. He is the dude. He is one of the most dynamic players in the league.
Thank God the Bills
He's a
didn't
running
get
back.
him.
9 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, 18 carries, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Beat down on the Raiders. AK, have a day.
Shout out to the King too. He did his thing.
There you go.
219
Yeah, he
yards.
did. He saved
153 yards after contact.
Chugga.
Like he's hitting that midseason stride to where whoever got the lead in rushing right now, Nick Chubb, he might be catching him in a couple of weeks.
And speaking of fantasy, it's not the one that is carrying away every game. Ramondre Stevenson.
Dude.
He has been a solid 15-20 every single week.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to blow out, but he's always reliable. He has been it's been him and Chubb for me all year, and it's been solid.
Damian Harris going down was the best thing and even before that, Stevenson was at, 5, 6, 7 a game, but as soon as Harris
he
goes
gets a lot
out.
of passes too.
Yep, he gets 20 carries, handful of catches. He's putting up 20, 25s in some of my leagues. So Ramondre, and it's that consistency, he's getting the ball. That's exactly what you want. Plug and play, leave it alone. Travis Etienne is filling that role nicely as well. I've got 2 of those RBs that took down Jair last week. All right, big guy.
25 a piece
Are you
or
ready?
something like this.
Those are the ballers of the week. Now it's time to flex
I had Gus
on.
Edwards.
Now it's time to see how those ballers of the week help elevate their teams into the top 10 rankings. We've seen ESPN's Power 10 Index. A don't mean stuff. We've seen that top 10 on the NFL. Mark Hansis. I don't mean no stuff. It's this guy, the champ right here. This is the top 10 we want to see.
Well, the 10th.
So he's going to hit it with us. Hit it with us, big boy. Will Ward in the top 10 NFL Power Rankings.
Goddamn list.
Lay it on us.
We're going to start at number 10. And even though they lost, they took an L.
Shouldn't
The
be
Giants still got to have a little respect. I mean, they did fall to the Seahawks. But the last game that impressed me, that kind of got me worried about the Giants, you still got to put some respect on the position that they're in the NFC East. But the last game they had played against the Jags, Saquon Barkley had 24 rushes, 110 yards, and then Daniel Jones had, just a measly 19 attempts or completions, 30 attempts for 202 and 11 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. This game, though, go ahead and go to number 9, Adam. They lost to that team in the Seahawks that really shut these guys down, man. And that's why the Seahawks are here, because they didn't allow for those boys to get off again. And for Saquon Barkley to only have 53 yards and on 20 attempts, that holds a lot for the Seahawks and that defense. Like I said earlier in the show, Geno Smith is really coming alive. I don't know what it is about that team that's getting a resurgence, and Pete Carroll is looking – he's the oldest coach in the NFL, but that team is really feeding behind him. They sacked Daniel Jones 5 times. 17 for 31 is what he threw, 176 yards, no touchdowns, had a lousy QBR of 24.1. So they holding Danny Dimes back, holding Saquon back, and now I got to put a little bit more respect on those Seahawks, because it may not be the Legion of Boom, but, hey, they stepping up and doing just as they should. So at number 8, we're going to keep it rolling. Got the Tennessee Titans coming in. They got a lot of adversity coming up ahead of them. The next couple of games, actually this next game is going to be a battle of the 5-2 teams. They play the Chiefs next. Their next 4 games, the Chiefs, Broncos, Packers, and the Bengals. By that time, the Bengals will be back. Don't you guys worry. The Titans, they on a 5-game win streak, man, so that's why they're here. I know you guys wondering, the Titans, they didn't even have Tannehill, but they didn't really need Tannehill. Malik Willis got his first start. They didn't make him do anything extraordinary. 6 completions out of 10 attempts. Yeah, so it wasn't too much. But when you got King Henry in the backfield, that got 32 attempts, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. You don't got to do a lot. Then you still got Dontrell Hilliard also in the back, 8 for 83 yards. So that's a 10-yard average just about each and every time you get the ball. So at number 7, We'll go over them 49ers. Got that brand new 2023 Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. You know, you see how that played. Yeah. But you locked down a Rams team. Hey, Shard, I know you still out there somewhere. Close your eyes, man, because I know it got ugly the other day. Jimmy G lit them boys up. 21 for 25, 235. CMC even got an attempt on a 1-for-1. Perfect QBR rating, might I say. 34-yard reception to Ayuk. Ayuk did get 6 receptions, 81 yards, that 1 touchdown. But they did lock up everything that the Rams was trying to do. The team rush, and that was kind of astonishing to me, was 21 for 56. The whole entire team, they rushed 21 times, only get 56 yards. So, I mean, you got a defense that's looking strong. You got an offense that's looking strong. You got a good NFC contender right there in that 49ers new regime as they have right now. At number 6, the next couple 4 games that the 49ers got, we'll get a good test. You got the Chargers coming up. You got an in-division game with the Cards at Arizona. You got MIA coming into San Francisco, and you got Tampa Bay also coming into the Bay Area. So gonna get a couple good games there real soon there, Ryan. Got number 6, you got the guys that just took down Tampa Bay. 27-22 over Tampa Bay. Lamar Jackson had 27 for 38, 238 yards. They held Brady to just 1 touchdown, but he did throw for 25 yards. 44 attempts, he only got 26 completions. And that defense has gotten a lot stronger since they just got Roquan Smith. So that was a huge addition to that D. So that's why they got a little up on this list. You see they were at number 8. But when you get an addition like Roquan that can come in and help out that defense, take a little bit of pressure off of Patrick Queen, it's going to bode well for them real soon. So I don't know when J.K. Dobbins is coming back yet. It's still in speculations when he's coming back. But those boys is rolling. The next couple games the Ravens got, they got the Saints. They got a bye week that's right in time. They got the Panthers, and they got the Jags. So they should continue to keep rolling. Number 5, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Just playing with you, my boy. I know you guys were hoping that Cincinnati would still be sitting there at number 5. But I couldn't do it to him, man. I had to sit him on the bench this week. So, of course, they wouldn't be no lower than 5. But at 5, I got the Dallas Cowboys that really showed my guy, Justin Fields, the ropes. Even though Justin did get off on him a couple of times, 17 attempts or 17 completions out of 23, 151 yards. It was just too much of Dak. Dak was back 21 for 27, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Even got 1 good 25-yard run out of Dak just to show his feet still work. But the guy that really got it on the feet was Tony Pollard in the absence of Zeke. Got 14 I'll slow down for y'all to catch up. He had 14 carries for 131 yards, 3 of them touchdowns. So that defense, like I said, that defense is going to carry them a long way. I think one of the reasons why Justin Fields really got off on him was because when you got a defense that's giving the ball back and that offense is continuing to put up points, that defense is on the field. So next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs, who did not play. So they had to get moved up in this list. Could not show favoritism because of the Vikings got moved down last week. So the Chiefs that did get set down, they did have to get moved back, to number 4 from number 3. They did just trade a 3rd round and a 6th round pick to acquire Kadarius Toney, who hasn't played since week 2 because he was playing with Danny Dimes. But now you put him in the back with Patty Mack. I expect to see him on there real soon. So they got the Titans coming up. They got the Jags at the Chargers, and then they got the Rams. So I'm pretty sure you'll see Kadarius Toney out there alongside with Juju Smith-Schuster. Corvette. I don't know what the Chiefs is going to hold, but keep an eye out for them in the AFC coming out. At number 3, and without further ado, I would like to apologize to the Skull Nation for not believing in y'all and put my faith into my little guy, Kyler Murray, who came just as close as he is tall, real short, to almost beating those guys. You know what I mean? It was real. Hey, look, Kyler Murray came in there. That's what I'm saying, man. Even when I do my best, it's still not good enough. But, hey, Kyler came in through 31 completions out of 44, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns on them boys, 2 INTs. He can have my boy DeAndre Hopkins is back.
He fumbled too.
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins came in 12 for 159, 1 touchdown. He even had my dude Moore had 7 for 92.
Oh, I hated that drive, man.
My boy Justin Jefferson did not hit the gritty. I didn't see the gritty, and I haven't seen it for a while. He had 98 yards on 6 completions or 6 catches. Dalvin Cook did look phenomenal. He had 20 attempts, 111 yards, and of course, the man of the hour, as always, Mr. Kirk Cuddy himself, 24 for 36, 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. But they got the Commanders coming up. Big game against the Chiefs. Big game against Dallas. And
the Bills, not the Chiefs.
Big game against the Bills. Yeah, you know who it is. He's not scared of them Bills, though. Big game against Cowboys. And then you don't know if it's going to be mac and cheese. You don't know if it's going to be Dr. Z. But they got the Pats coming in, too. Luckily, all those games are in Minnesota, except for Washington and the Bills. They both got to go there. Yep. So at number 2, you see the Eagles fly. Eagles fly. Those boys did fly high. It wasn't nothing that those Squillers can do. It wasn't like they really struggled. They are looking phenomenal in the NFC. The front runners, Jalen Hurts is starting like an MVP front runner. He had 19 for 28, 285, 4 touchdowns, and 3 of them went to my man A.J. Brown. He had 6 for 156. 3 touchdowns. Jared's boy, on the other hand, Kenny Pickett, 25 for 38, 191, and no touchdowns. And the whole entire team, 24 rushes, 144 yards. So, like I said before, when you can shut down a whole entire team and not allow them to run, you shut down a quarterback, not allow him to get any touchdowns, that defense got to be looking stellar. The offense got to be looking stellar. That's 2 faces of the football. If they get in special teams, too, that's all 3 phases, and that's looking real Super Bowl-esque. Trust me, I would know. But anyways, they do have the Texans coming up, the Commanders, the Colts, and the Packers. So I don't see them boys losing no time soon. If somebody get a sneaky link and get in and, knock them out, then, hey, it might happen. But I'm not for sure. And that number 1, shout out to this flag right here. They got taken down. That's why it's turned backwards. Those Buffalo Bills, even though they had a real sloppy game, man, Josh Allen had 13 completions out of 120 or 25 for 218s, 2 touchdowns, 2 sloppy balls got thrown. He did get 6 balls completed to Stephon Diggs. He got 108, and he had 1 touchdown. They did let Aaron Rodgers complete 19 and had 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the one thing that I think the hole in this Bills Mafia, you let Aaron Jones come in and get 143 yards on 20 attempts. You didn't allow him to get a touchdown, though. But 143 yards, that could be a recipe for disaster. So just keep it out, keep an eye out. Yep. So if you guys, if the Vikings can somehow allow for Dalvin Cook, if they can do it, that's the way. That's the recipe. Because I see you saying everybody else but Kurt. But proceed.
It's a team.
So it's a team effort. Just don't rely on the quarterback too much. The same way they did with Malik Willis. That's my top 10 list. Chop it up, screw it up, spit it out, man. Hopefully, I wasn't too long for you. But
no, that was excellent. You got 3 minutes. Go.
You know what? I don't even need it.
I was gonna say
it's perfect.
This list is This is the first perfect list since week 1.
Don't call it a comeback.
It's the first perfect list since week 1, my man. The apology was debatable, but I'll take it. He advised to my whole Score Nation. We rightfully so. We moved above KC. We'll see how he treats us after we beat the Commanders, and then KC wins. But I think I'm rooting for the Titans. But anyway, we'll see. After we beat the Commanders, and then my real test is in 2 weeks, where you put your list when we actually play that team.
That's where it play at, man.
In Buffalo. That's the only actual New York team that plays in the state of New York.
Dude, weeks 10,
but I ain't looking that far ahead.
Gonna be nice.
I can't wait, because once we beat the Bills, where you gonna put us?
It's not gonna happen.
If we beat the Bills, where you gonna put us?
If was a 5th, we'd be almost tipsy.
If was a 5th, that's how we got here. So let me ask this again.
I don't trust it, man.
If we beat the Bills,
I didn't trust him. I
didn't trust
Kyler Murray.
It's a hypothetical question.
If he beat the Bills,
if the Minnesota Vikings
beat the Bills,
because you got the Bills number 1 right now.
Josh Allen must have got hurt. That's
answer
number
the
one.
question.
No,
if
no.
if Minnesota beats the Bills, they'll be number one.
That's what I want to know, because that's where you got the Bills.
Yeah,
You got
still
them.
got the Eagles.
So
Then they'll be number 2. There's your answer.
we
That's
They
it.
didn't beat the Eagles.
Keep going.
okay,
They
Dallas
beat the Eagles.
Dallas
Come on.
beat the Eagles. Is what have you done for me?
I gotta
lately?
move the Eagles back to their right,
Trust it,
their
man.
right spot at number 1.
Can we stop disrespecting my Eagles, man? Get me your hat, bro, so I can wear that before it's too late.
So no discrepancies against top 10.
Nope, I ain't got nothing to change because
You check ESPN.
He got Seattle in there. He got the Packers out.
I seen one list
Tampa's
with the Bengals
out.
still
All right.
on it.
Excellent.
Number 10 at least.
That's how we started this whole segment. You don't need no ESPN top 10. You don't need Mark
man.
Hansen's top 10. You
Yeah, they
need
do
Will
got the
Ward's
Bengals
top
at
10. He just nailed it.
For sure.
Quick interruption. Everybody out watching, give a big round of applause. The Philadelphia Phillies are up 4-0 in the 5th inning over the Houston Astros in Game 3 of the World Series.
Aren't they up?
We are rooting against Houston. The series is tied 1-1. This is Game 3. We are all Phillies fans. We do not want the cheating Houston Astros to get up in there. So, just a quick little
Gotta
segment.
give me hey, they win this one. I gotta get my boy Bryce.
3 home runs early on. Harper smashed one in the first. Him and Schwarber ran around, then 2 solos in the second. So go Phillies. That's all I got with that. All right, Will's top 10 is done. We are moving on.
To Kate's.
We're going to do a little, I'm going to talk. I want to ask a couple questions about some sports betting. I just want to get a couple locks real quick.
Okay, cool.
As we talk about Week 9, we'll do a little bit of a preview. We'll talk some bets. We'll get our locks because I keep trying to push this sports betting thing. And I'm going to ask you guys what your locks are. You have said about 5 times in the last 3 minutes when we beat the Commanders. So, Minnesota is a 3.5-point favorite over the Washington Commanders. Is Minnesota your lock of the week? Would you like a different lock? Ryan's lock of the week is going to be.
Oh, no.
I got to find it real quick.
What you got?
It's at the top. Los Angeles Chargers are rolling into Atlanta. What I saw in my bookie earlier, Atlanta is a 3.5-point underdog.
I think they win.
And I think Atlanta wins outright. Atlanta this season is 6-1 against the spread, I believe, or 5-2. So my lock of the week, I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons. If you can get that hanger, meaning 3.5, if you can get them at plus 3.5, take it. The other one I like is the Carolina Panthers getting 7.5. After Cincy's little slip last time,
Back at home, dog.
I'm not real sure what the deal is. They
back
were
at home,
only
man.
2 hours away from home last night. So
That was different.
what's
That
the
was an in-house rival. That was the dog pound rooting against us.
Joe Burrow's 0-4 against the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, leave that
know
alone,
that.
man.
So,
My
my two locks of the week: Atlanta Falcons plus 3.5 at home. Chargers coming into town. That's my lock. I'll take the other one that I kind of like is the Carolina Panthers. If you can get 7.5, it opened at 8. If you can get it there, take those points since he still gets the win. But Carolina, whatever reasons, whatever juju they got going on, I don't know if it's P.J. Walker's doing it.
Was Matt Rule really
I don't know.
that toxic?
But those are mine. What's your lock of the week,
My
Jared?
lock
Who
of
you
the
got?
week is Seattle at Arizona.
Ooh, Seattle getting 2.5.
Seattle wins.
You want the Seattle money line?
What?
You think Seattle wins outright?
I think Seattle wins outright.
All right. Jared's lock of the week is going to be the Seattle money line. I'll look it up. It's probably like plus 160. So $10, you win 16, or 100, you win 160. Willie.
I'm going to go
You got
with
one you like?
the Jags and over the Raiders. I think the Raiders continue to plummet. They're going to continue to fall. And the Jags didn't look too bad last week.
Last few weeks.
So they just getting like a little bit too short. They just don't have enough to finish out the wins. But I think this Raiders team has enough of problems where it's not looking good for them.
Games can't cheat.
You get shut out. My man Josh Jacobs could not give me any points this week, and I don't know what's going on with Derek Carr. He's almost putting an Amber Alert out for him because he's missing. So
Yep.
I think Sunshine and the boys they may be able to take this one over there, and it's just a 1.5. But
Shit, I mean, Las Vegas is a
Cards are
Las
winning.
Vegas is a 1-point favorite. So I
Yeah.
mean, pick 'em game. You're looking at probably minus 110 and minus 110 on money lines. Jacksonville might be positive plus 100, but either way.
so which game do you get the most money off of?
All right.
Be that Philly Houston.
Nah,
If Houston looks, if you can get Houston to win.
Well, here, I'll look. Yeah. Well, if Houston wins,
it's Thursday night. You never know.
And we do have a couple large lines over, double digits. Philadelphia Eagles are 14-point favorite over Houston. The Chiefs are 12.5, 13-point favorite over the Titans. And the other one is Buffalo. Buffalo's a 13-point favorite over the New York Jets. I'd kind of like the Jets getting 13 points. I think they can keep it close to within 2 touchdowns, but man, Buffalo can blow anybody out on any given night. If the Houstons win, it's plus 550, which would be if you bet $100, you'd win $550. If the Houston Texans beat the Philadelphia Eagles outright, dude, Thursday night, short week going into Houston, you never know. Crazier things have happened. Davis Mills
Lovey.
might ball out.
Come on, Lovey, get your boys going, man. Lovey Smith, we need that money, dog.
All right, speaking of, so there's our locks of the week. Jacksonville Jaguars. No need to take the 1 point. Just take the money line at plus 105. Seattle Seahawks. They're getting 2.5.
That's disrespectful.
You don't need those. Money line's probably plus 180. He's taking it there. I'm taking the points with the Atlanta Falcons getting 3.5. And I kind of like the Carolina Panthers at getting 7.5 as well. That hanger helps me. Cincinnati to win. Carolina to cover, though. There you have it. One interesting tidbit I would like to talk about is the newest addition to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That can't play.
But is that really a thing? So we're talking about week 9 coming up. Today was the NFL trade deadline, 4 o'clock Eastern. This distressed flag behind me did not add any new parts. So the NFL trade deadline, which just happened today, we actually had a record number of people traded on the trade deadline. I think it was 12.
12 overall.
Something like that. I think I got a graphic in there if AD can grab it. We'll get to it. But where I started with this was I thought it was super interesting. Calvin Ridley, who's suspended all season. Hadn't thought about that, dude. Calvin Ridley got traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, man, next year.
Sunshine got a new weapon.
I'm going to say Joey Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. There it is right there. You can see it about 4th way down. Falcons trade wide receiver Calvin Ridley to the Jaguars. The big move we mentioned earlier that we'd talk about, Bradley Chubb. Broncos kind of shipping it. They're struggling, not sure what they're going to do. And so they utilized one good piece. That's a very good move by the Broncos. Bradley Chubb hadn't been having the best season for him.
Wow, Naeem Hines.
So they can get some of that out, and that was another big one as well. I'm surprised to see the Dolphins making some moves, man. And the Dolphins sending what's his name? Chase Edmonds, and swapping with the Broncos.
Oh, the Colts got Zach.
You guys skipping over this, but I want you to put some thought into this. Look at the second name on that list. Chase Claypool has left the Steelers and now teamed up with Justin Fields. Justin needs a weapon.
Dude, he needs something.
You know what I mean? He had Montgomery in the backfield, but I think the addition of Chase Claypool is going to make that team a little bit different. And, hey, I don't want to tell you this, but watch out for him, man.
You already said that, bro. That's done and over with.
Watch out for him. When you see Justin,
can we talk about
ask
the obvious?
Rye about Justin.
Can you put that back up? We all know what the best move of the day was, right? We all know what the best move of the day was, right? It's third on this list.
You like Hawkinson a lot, but
I mean, I think that was the most. I mean, between the Hawkinson move and the Bradley Chubb move, a lot of the others was. I don't understand.
Fenton, Dean Marlowe, Jackson.
I don't understand why they went and got Hines.
I think that T.J. Hawkinson has the biggest immediate impact, and like I said, man, he is a blocking stud. That's all he did for the first 2 seasons.
Chubb too. I'll give him Chubb.
Bradley Chubb's a big one. Dolphins making moves, man.
Because they need that.
They'll take Jeff Wilson.
Second place ship in the AFC
Edmonds.
East.
They need some help on the defensive side. That's big there. And good point out by Chase Claypool. I mean, he's a big physical dude. Maybe that gets Justin Fields going, but we'll see. So it was an exciting day. I was hoping Brandon Cooks would get traded to Green Bay. That would just help me fall into one big lucky situation on my fantasy teams. But and 2 wide receivers go into the NFC North. Neither of them goes to Green Bay.
And the Lions helped us out. Shout out to Detroit. I think the way the NFC North is set up, the 3 teams, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions, all equally hate the Packers. So, I mean, rightfully so.
like
I mean, the Packers are the Packers. We get that. So,
like
but
hate,
I think
it's like hating the Patriots
because
in
they
the
was
East.
making a big deal out of trading within division, and they literally traded their best player, arguably, for within the division to help catapult us into the next level, to that next tier.
So what you're saying is, basically, the Packers are Queen Cersei, and the rest of the NFC North is like all of Westeros trying to take the throne from her.
Yep.
That's
Or it's like
Y'all just don't own us, though.
AFC,
That's the difference.
It's like the AFC East too.
But they don't own us.
Everybody hates the Patriots forever.
Yeah, everybody hates the Patriots, but the Patriots are
like
no
that.
longer relevant. And then I think now
that was for you, Ryan.
Everybody hated Queen. Man, she was such a good
Well,
character.
yeah,
Not as bad as
I think
Joffrey.
if-
She's a bitch.
If I had a
culture
guess,
aside.
that's what I think.
This Game of Thrones?
The everybody in the North, when we play each other, because that's how I feel when I meet other fans of these teams as well. It's not that distaste. No offense, Adam, but I'm just saying, it's just like when we play each other, we play each other, so we got to beat each other. But for the most part, we all root against Green Bay.
That's a fact.
And that's why I feel like the Detroit Lions didn't care about us making it. They don't mind us finally taking a division. Like they knew they was gonna suck no matter what, but they just wanted to make sure they stick it to the man.
Fair enough. There you go. Lions don't want to see Green Bay win. Help your buddy. All right.
I was hoping they would trade Rodgers today.
That's why I threw it in.
Burn the whole house
I'm
down.
just going to say, I thought they should because
Let's
they're
just-
obviously in the rebuild. I appreciate Rodgers and his talent so much. I don't know. I kind of want to get your thought on it before we went on. I suggested they trade him to San Francisco.
Aaron?
Send him home?
Send him home. He grew up a fan. It's not like Jimmy G's your future. You got Trey Lance, so who cares if you hurt him? He'll get it. It's Rodgers. The Packers would get a decent return on it because, I mean, if you're the Niners, you're going pretty much all in with Jimmy G right now.
Well, that's what I don't know if they have anything to trade.
You
They-
just gave
Figure
him
it
CMC.
out.
but
Figure it out.
If it's on the table, you would.
Yeah. Like I as much as I hate the Rodgers era ending, it's the window sucks. They went into rebuild at the end of his career.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and say they got dubs and they all shown flashes, but they're not a team. They're not a They're nothing right now. They suck.
And
they
that's the
are
leader
a
to
bottom feeding team
galvanize
in the
that
league.
team.
At this point, I hope they lose more so they can get better draft picks.
You'll be all right with them going to the NFC. You will still want him in the NFC though.
Well, what Green Bay?
That doesn't bother
You
me.
get rid of him somehow.
Like,
And that,
we have to see.
Well, they've
the
been
Niners.
talking about. I mean, that story's been for a year or two of like
But
it'd be great to have him out there. And the Niners fan, like it'd be interesting. What Green Bay needs to do is see if they can just trade the front office for a different
Gutekunst sucks.
front office.
Yeah, I
They
hate
don't got no
Gutekunst.
ownership.
But
That's the
dude,
problem.
I got a buddy that's a diehard Green Bay fan like you, and he was, I got a lengthy message of 30 years with two quarterbacks, two Hall of Famers, two of the best to ever play, and you get two
dickheads.
Super Bowls
Two
out of it.
rings.
And that's like,
No, on 2 trips. Or 3 trips. Just they went twice with
and
one.
that,
were
at
back
the
to back, didn't
NFL level with those,
96,
like the
97,
quarterback's the hardest player to find, the talent, like, man, it's rough times in Green Bay and it's just the expectations, 3 straight 13-win seasons, et cetera. It's like the expectations are high. They're right there. And it
Benefits
just,
of a terrible
and it
conference.
just fell out flat. Like,
benefits of a terrible division.
so, well,
And we
would
finally
you,
get to
would
reap
you
those
like
benefits.
to put, it's perfect timing. That brings us to our Superman capes. We're talking about who needs to show up and put on a performance to get a win. This is perfect in line with the trade deadline that just happened. Who's Minnesota we need to put on our Superman cape. We need that TJ Hawkinson on our team. That's what's going on right now. So we're talking Superman capes. Dun, dun, dun. That new fat graphic from Jay. So this week, boys, dun, 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 boom, put on your drum roll, please. I am going to put my Superman cape on for Justin Fields.
Yay.
They put up some points against the Cowboys. Some of that's a little bit garbage time. That Dallas defense has only allowed over 20 points once this season until the Bears did it again. They got beat by 20. Things are looking pretty dire in Chicago. They're 3-5. And it's just been rough over there. Justin Fields has been getting beat up all season. So I would maybe I should have him put it on for the offensive line. But Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, you got Miami coming into town. Miami's a 5-point favorite. I kind of like that cover. Dolphins got a lot of firepower, but crazy things can happen. It's going into Chicago the first week in November. So Justin Fields, put that cape on, get it done, and just the Bears organization, that defense is going to have a hell of a time trying to stop Tua, Waddle, and Hill.
Especially without Roquan.
So they got to cape up
And
shipping out. Yep, shipping out Roquan Smith.
Now the Bears
So
are done.
Bears, cape it up. You got to get, it's week 9. Don't quit. It's the middle of the season. Put your big boy pants on. Put that big boy cape on.
Who day?
Get it done on Sunday.
Who's caping for who day? Who's Ruben?
All right. Capes, boys.
Ruben Davis?
You just Ruben.
Oh, man.
I know
Come
you put
on,
it on.
Rue. Hey, Rue.
He said who day?
Yeah, they right now.
Just putting it. All right.
But that's what I'm putting my cape on for, man.
Who day?
Mainly for my man Jonah Williams, that's on that left side of that line, who just made, maybe he's seen your boy Garrett before they came in. He had on a Stranger Things outfit, got scared, pissed down his leg, and just didn't play well the rest of the game. So I just need for them to come and play how they did against the Falcons, but play better than that, because they also allow for the Falcons to come back. Eli Apple, get well soon, because unfortunately we do need him back.
Unfortunately.
I mean, sometimes Eli comes and he gives you what you need. Sometimes Eli look like he's, seen the ghost also.
Yeah.
But there's Mr. Garrett there. And like I said, Jonah Williams, they kept showing a stat of 2.5 seconds. That's all it took to get Joe on his back. $2. That's all it took. $2. But don't allow for Carolina to come in here, man, into the jungle and do anything, because they're flying high. They're trying to come back after losing to Atlanta. And, hey, just don't let it happen, man. Put your cape on.
All right.
Zach Taylor, stop throwing them trash calls. 3rd and 1, and we throwing it to the flats or trying to go to a post route. That offensive production is not popping right now, man. So, highly disappointed. The words of my Bubba Dub, trash.
All right. Sidsey. Jer.
I'm putting my cape on for King Henry and the Teen Titans.
There you go.
Yeah, I said Teen Titans. Because they're going to need to show up, and they need to bring everybody. All their superpowers,
Nice.
all their everything, because they got a big game Friday night. This is in high school. Sunday night. They got a big game Sunday night against them Kansas City Chiefs. Is coming fresh off a bye that had 2 weeks to prepare for them. So, yeah, King Henry is hitting his stride. He is coming off a 219-yard game, but I don't know if it's my young man Malik or if it's that old man Ryan.
I don't think Ryan's like that.
There you go.
But either way, I need King Henry to just be put on his crown and run that rock and run that ball into a W.
Dude, that's the good bet there. Coming off a bye week, Titans have won 5 straight. Henry's rolling. Titans getting plus 12.5. Take that.
Oh,
yeah, Titans?
Your Titans cover.
Titans covering, getting 12 points, not to win.
Okay.
Come on, listen to the
Titans
language.
cover.
Okay.
Tennessee Titans getting 12.5. They can still lose by 11. You can still lose by 12 and you still hit your bet.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's what I'm putting my cape on for King Henry.
Adam, you want to toss one in? You good?
I'll throw it in.
Cool.
The Browns.
Superman cape, who you got?
The Browns need it desperately.
Yeah.
The fact that they did not trade Hunt means I believe they're still trying.
Hey.
And that
means-
division is not so far out of reach. And in every game they've lost, except for one,
It's been close.
It's been a
Right.
close game. So the Browns are not far. What they did yesterday showed what that team can be. And they got a tough schedule coming up. They got their next 3 games are the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Buccaneers. If they can win 2 of those, at that point, the next game is Deshaun back.
That's Houston.
If that team can put on their Superman cape or Superman capes and tread water, and if they can pull off 2 of those wins, and he comes back with like a 5-6 record, Deshaun Watson, a fresh, rested, not injured, not hurt, not anything, Deshaun Watson, with what that team could be a team that sticks into the playoffs and could do a little damage. Because they showed what they can be last. I know it's Cleveland, Cincinnati. They have their weird games, 100 points games. It's just weird as shit. But they showed what they can be. And if they can win a couple games with Deshaun, watch out for the Browns. That's all I want to say.
All right, well, there you got it. Our first ever Superman cape for a team on a bye. Browns. What? It's all good, man. They got to get it going.
They're coming.
They coming, man.
Like Deshaun.
Those are all very valid points. I'm a little nervous about Deshaun's rustiness of 2 years, but hey, man.
Nah, he's gonna be fresh.
Dude, that's like hit them books this
Loose,
week.
ready to go.
Study that tape. All right, dude, capes.
Hey,
There
but they
you go.
only
If
got
you got a Superman cape in the chat, you know what to do. Throw it at us. Hit us on the gram, Facebook, wherever. Talk those Superman capes, and we'll call them out next week when we can remember. All right, that's football in the bag for tonight. It's time for bouncy round ball time. That's the NBA hooping. The NBA was making a little bit of waves today.
I called two.
Her getting
I spoke
fired.
2 things in existence today.
Yep. And
TJ
well, you've been
Hawkinson
saying that a while ago,
and
and
Ime Udoka.
you nailed the Facebook thing. That was funny shit. Steve Kerr got canned. He's out of Brooklyn. KD asked for this a couple months ago, 2 months ago maybe. It's hard to keep track.
July. Trade deadline around that time.
And
not
man,
trade deadline, but
Kyrie's off the rails. Like I said, he's out of the conversation. So, Steve Kerr's out. Who should they find to replace him? Jerry, you got a name top of your mind?
IME UDKO. Did I spell it right?
I think so.
UDKOKA. Or how are we spell it? UDOKA. Yeah, Udoka. That's the man. That's the guy for the job. I mean Udoka, which is already in.
So
like,
how
within
does
the next 24 to 48 hours.
What is
that? Was
that?
earlier.
Getting fired? How does that work if you get?
He's allowed to coach, assistant, or head coach for any other organization.
This is not Boston.
It's
Nope,
not
not
Boston because you found somebody on the staff and that was
Well, right.
permitted, that was prohibited to,
But that's what I'm wondering is
It's just
is it a federal government or just
Nah.
a state thing? So it's just the team. It's
Yeah.
not the entire
It's
NBA.
just the team. No, it's just Boston. The NBA has nothing to do with what happened within that organization this
Fair
time.
enough.
So they're going to give him free reigns to coach for whoever. And if
Has that
that
been-
means the Brooklyn Nets, which he was on the staff the year before he became a head coach.
Okay.
And, he got KD ties, and what way to, stick it to your old boss.
Dude.
The way, you sticking it to his wife or whatever. And then now you get to stick it to his team. Like, you're sticking it everywhere.
Have you heard any comment like? Do we have any?
is it official with Udoka?
Dude, and
last
here,
thing I
Bleacher-
seen earlier was
Bleacher-
24 to 48 hours, and that was this morning. Or
Bleacher
this
Report
afternoon.
7 hours ago, and that's plan to hire Udoka as their next head coach
My status was made 8 hours.
per Sham Sharat. Some guy, and
Jerry
it's
Bates
from
told y'all
some
that.
senior NBA insider of The Athletic.
Hey, the proof is on Facebook. I told
Okay. All right. Well, Ime Udoka,
you. He's the man.
head
for the
coach
job.
of the Boston Celtics last season, and had a lot of success with them. The Boston Celtics, if you remember last year, were at the bottom of the NBA at Christmas time. They turned it around at the New Year, had one of the best springs, one of the best 2022s out of any team in the league, made waves, pushed it. There you go. He might have his new chance in Brooklyn to see what he can do with KD and those boys. But who knows? We'll see.
Hey, don't get scared of anybody that's looking at the screen right now. Steve Kerr is still in Golden State. That's supposed to be Steve Nash.
Oh, man.
Golden State still has Steve Kerr.
Damn. Dude, that's me. That's on me. I totally typed that out. I
Just didn't want any breaking news. You know, we got a big platform right now, and
Have I said Steve Kerr 4 different times? You guys haven't.
I don't think you said it. You
It's
said Steve
Steve
Nash,
Nash.
but
I
I don't
just
want
can't
any of the
read.
viewers to start. I did it before, and I've tweeted out something. Derrick Rose retired off of some fake news.
That's how we roll.
This ain't Fox right here. Don't do us like that.
No, it's just amateur hour. That's on me, Steve Nash. Thank you, AD.
Not Steve Kerr. Yeah.
Why would Steve Kerr get fired? He's the dude.
I
And
think they're. Hey, where's Jared's levels at? Are they still pretty high? I've seen Golden State starting to fall down in some of
I
these
don't know
power
if we
rankings.
got the old.
I update. They're still at we like that.
We're gonna hammer.
But
We're gonna hammer the levels.
I'm gonna wait
next
to the
week.
10th, because it ain't been 10 games yet for everybody. So I'm trying to let it a bit.
Oh, okay.
But now there we like that. But now would they fall?
What I will mention real quick while we're here,
It's too early enough.
Cleveland. Yeah, you'll have to. That's why I was looking at the levels
Biden
earlier.
looking nice.
After we get a few 10 games in. So yeah, my other headline is Cleveland is good. What are they? 5-1. Second best record in
Spider.
the East.
Only behind
Allen.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, Giannis.
Hey, you even seeing a resurgence from K Love coming around,
Yep.
man. Like,
He's looking nice.
Watch out for Cleveland.
I don't
Brian,
see.
come on back.
That's what I was gonna say.
You don't want that toxic
Cleveland-
energy to set that environment.
Cleveland as a contender. Cleveland as a
But
contender. How
my
far?
thing is,
There you go. Eastern Conference Championship. I mean, like you said, we're 7 games in, so
We're
there's
7 games in, I think. But
and they even
to answer your
had
question,
what's his name on the court?
I
Yet?
think that they're a legit team to worry about. I still see. My thing is the Giannis guy. You need a Giannis guy because the team that's above them is Giannis. Now I'm still pro Kevin, so the Nets need to figure it out. But you also need a KD guy. Like you need a certain person for these type of guys. Giannis. I mean, KD's averaging 32 points. I'm saying you gotta worry.
No, I had another question for you.
Dean Wade.
Dean
Wade.
That's D Wade.
That's that dude in Cleveland. You don't
D.
even
Wade.
know who Dean Wade is.
Who doesn't play yet? Who you talking about?
No, he's 6'9", dude. He's that dude. He's gonna step up.
No.
He's coming off the bench.
My question: you said
I like Seti Osman on that team. He's been improving every
do
single
you
year.
put Cleveland in front of Philly,
Yeah,
Miami?
yeah.
I mean, they're the second best team in the East right
Well,
They're
my-
playing that way.
Yeah, and you,
They're
would you
unquestionably
put them on the
playing that
level of
way.
Boston right now? But is Boston going for? I guess. I'm gonna say Brooklyn is, even though Brooklyn's 2-5, but I'm still pro Brooklyn. So but they still they got to prove to where they at.
Look at
but
the way they're playing. Like the first 6 games, dude. Cleveland they
look
got
nice.
they got the
Donovan.
best point differential in the league. They're plus 12. They're averaging 117. Their defense are giving up 106. They're on a 5-game win streak. They lost the first game out the gate. They've been on a tear, man. And it's Donovan Mitchell. He even says he's been playing better than he thought he could be. And he even said it. Kevin Love, old dude Kevin Love, asleep in the locker room, and all these dudes woke him up. It's like, hey, all right, I can ball now. You ain't got to do much. They just got the right pieces, and you don't always necessarily need some big superstar. You get a scrappy team like the Toronto Raptors, yeah, you got Kawhi Leonard, but you ain't got that big dude, to do it. So, Cleveland Cavaliers is going to be a long, good, fun season. Pay attention to what's going on up north. See if they can just keep holding it together for the first time in a while. Cavs. And they showed us last spring, man. We had flashes of it, how good they could be.
They got a good team, man. Nice long team from Mobley, Allen to
Doesn't have to be a lot of big superstar names. They just hold that together, man. And this is that team chemistry thing.
they got possible stars. Like
Yep.
Donovan, we know
And they
who's
got
fighting.
a
Like,
young,
we know
and
who's
they're
fighting
young.
it.
They got a couple young dudes
Garland is
that
right.
can. Yep.
Yeah.
You said
Karis
it.
LeVert is from the city.
Dude. Nice. All right, gang.
Shout out to the Cavs.
That's all we got on Giannis is the heavy front runner for MVP at the moment. Him and Ludon.
Because Luka's on a mission, but yeah, Giannis the Bucks is undefeated right now, 7-0.
Only
5-0.
6-0. Only undefeated team in the league. Lakers are still winless, is that right?
No, they probably
Lakers
got a dub.
dub.
Damn it.
Yes, sir. They're
Adam.
not trash no more.
Okay.
No, they're still trash.
The Lakers, the Magic, and the Houston Rockets all have 1 win. We got to pick up on our Detroit Pistons. We'll
they
talk
look
a little
good.
bit about
Oh, my
them and see
goodness.
what's going on. They're 2-6, struggling a lot.
No, they competing though.
we'll see.
They play some tough matchups, but
Like the Detroit Lions.
they competing. But they got a nice.
Detroit.
It is a Detroit thing, man. But Detroit, they look good, man.
Boy.
They got some nice young talent. My man Jaden Ivey.
we
is
know.
Nice. And Cade Cunningham is actually coming out this year.
We're going to take that trip, dude. We're
Yeah.
going to go up to Detroit, watch some hoops. All right, Tuesday night. Let's check in on the Phillies score real quick. I'm going to send y'all out with that. For Ryan Dietrich, and that's Debaytable. Jeremiah Bays, Will Ward. Big shout out to Adam Dell. It's good to have him back. Relieves a little bit of stress for me, so I appreciate you. To all of you fans out there, we appreciate you tuning in. And, Philadelphia Phillies, baby, 7-0.
That's what I'm talking
The top
about.
of the
Touchdown.
6.
They scored a tutty on them.
It's an always sunny Philadelphia party in here, gang.
Bryce Harper jersey ready.
Oh man.
That's it. We're out. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock.